Hello, this is Julie, Silver Stitches here on FlossTube. How's everybody today? I've already filmed once. I've already tried to edit once. I don't know. I wasn't feeling the vibe. So, here we go again. So today is October 19th, 2025, still 2025, and we are here for a weekly update. I only was able to manage 1,045 stitches this week because life, but that's okay. So I'm going to bring you through the Great Canadian Baking Show first because that's apparently what's out. I did reorganize a little bit, so I'm now more in a corner with the window on the other side of me. Just getting out everything that was from last week. There were 4 things that were worked on. One thing you won't see again, so I'll start out with that. That is Sleepy Turtle by the artist is Tammy Blevins of Facebook. I'm sure she is everywhere else, but that's where I found her. While I wait for my phone to load, this is what it is. This is where we got to. So there was 225 stitches put into this week. This is now going away. I will show you eventually what it's going to look like as soon as my phone loads. Let's wait for that. Maybe Skitters will pop his head out again over here. Alright, Tammy Blevins. Tammy Blevins, what it's gonna look like. And I took a picture of it. Oh, goodness me. Alright, so this one, still very glary. Anyway, is what it is. Yes, so 225 stitches put into it. I started out the week with this just so that I would get it finished. This is on a 14 count piece of red Aida because that's what I had on hand. 2/1 full cross. 4/1, too much. 2/1, not enough. Totally should have gone with 3 somehow, but is what it is. So that's going away because that was the person who was kicked off. We're talking about season 4 of the Great Canadian Baking Show, Bake Off, I don't know what it's called. Anyway, the next thing that I have to show you is from this dude right here. He is the Autumn Fairies, and 15 stitches was put into this. This was a first and technical, but at the same point, it's whatever player number it is plus times 15. So this is the whole thing. And where I stitched my 15 stitches was up here. I will tell you that this is getting some more work done this week because this player is doing really well. Okay, so I'm going to do plans and showing off all at the same time because now I have all the answers because I've already done this whole thing already once this morning. That is Charlotte, if you can hear her. She has decided to tell everybody she is still here, I guess. Alright, next thing up was Forever by Alessandra Adelaide. I had put in a lot. I had put in $175 stitches into this. This is on a 14 count piece of black Aida. That's better. Yeah, it was too dark. I didn't have the light on above me when I was filming this the first time, and the sun was not as sunny as it was, so that's good. Already much happier with this rendition of the FlossTube this week. we have cats everywhere, so, and I switched around the world a little bit, so they're a little bit discombobulated right now, but that's okay. The next thing that I worked on was from Modern Folk Embroidery. This had received 100 stitches this week. In my cute little carrying case that goes with another bag, but not this one. And I'm just going to put it on the back of this because that's how big it is now. This is on a night wolf gray, some kind of something from Roxy Floss Co. At the time it was Leo and Roxy, but since now a couple of years it's been taken over from, anyways, it's a whole thing. Anyway, so worked on the rest of this tree, filled in the rest of the foliage over here. I worked in 100, well, I worked in some of these stitches up here, the blue as well as the white. So far so good, almost, and in reality I'm almost on that page. So I'm almost on my last page, so that's good too. I will be sad when this one goes away, when this player gets kicked off, because I absolutely love working on this. Surprisingly, because who knew? It's taken me since 2018 to continue working on it, but now I have better lighting and better vision things to help me along. Vision aids. Alright, so that is all that was for Great Canadian Bake Off this week. Coming up for next week, oopsies, so this one's going away because that's done. I will be having more done on this one. That is Autumn Fairies. Why can't I remember that? Something from this book is going to be for a few stitches. I can't remember how many, so we're all just gonna remember together. Next week, so stitches will be going into A Christmas Welcome, oopsies, by Claire Crompton. This is what it's going to look like. And this is where we're at. So this is on a 14 count piece of blue, royal blue, navy blue, I don't know, blue Ada. What else is coming out of here this week? Sunflower 8 by Joy Sunday is going to be for this week. And this is where we're at for that. I will try and take before pictures this week before I start working on everything, because that's just fun. And why not add it to the memory that I need to store for the video? Anyway, maybe I can take pictures on one phone and then we'll see how much storage there is. Okay. Anything else new coming out this week? Nope, that's it. So Sunflower 8, Autumn Fairies, and A Christmas Welcome is going to be for this week coming up. Next up, I'm going to throw this all back in the bag, minus the red fabric. FlossTube itchy nose. Okay, next up is the blue bag, and the blue bag holds my Stitch to 500. This week is going to be the same as next week, and so that means that I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. That's not what it means, but that means that Dragon in the Morning by Randall Spangler of Heaven and Earth Design is next up. How do I get to my favorite? Nope, that's not it. Alright, so jargon in the morning. I put 100 stitches in, and 100 stitches again will be in next week because I spun the wheel and it came up again. So this is the problem with really big fabric. Okay, here we go. There we are. That is that. And I'm just filling in parked threads as we go. Whoopsies. So while I was stitching on this, I was watching The Alchemist Stitcher, catching up on all of her floss tubes. She's been around for about a year, and she just celebrated her 1-year flossiversary. So go check her out if you're interested in that. She's made a multitude of videos, so not one per month, but more than one per month. That's all I'm gonna say. So that's coming out again next week. So that's that. The red bag is next. So the red bag is my temperature stitching. What I did this week was I put in 100 stitches, right? Yeah, 100 stitches on Seahorses by Mill Hill. This was a very big Mill Hill week, over across the whole games, all of the games. Okay, so where are we at? So yes, between finishing this block and starting this block, 100 stitches. This will also come out for next week because apparently whatever temperature this is very popular. All right, the next thing that will come out again next week is going to be Steampunk Portal. This is by Heaven and Earth Design. It was the stitch along for 2025, one of the 12 pieces you could choose. Anyway, clearly it's not going to get done for 2025, and chances are I am not going to get the 2026 chart. Okay, so 50 stitches all in here. So we started the next round, the next set of blocks. That again will come out this week. That's next week. What's this? This is Butterfly 2 by... Oh man, now I'm gonna have to find that again. Okay. Butterfly 2, that's this. So Butterfly 2. And Butterfly 2 is by Ching Chu Kiwick. Alright. This will be coming out again this week also. So that's where we're at. So I added in a... I did not stitch on this. This is coming out this week. Oh, bananas. Is what it is. Okay. Nope. What else did I... Steampunk, Seahorses, Hidden Disabilities. Alright, so Floxbox came out last week. This is by Ink Circles, while Tracy was still posting in magazines. Oh boy. And we're here. Do you think I can see what I'm doing? Not at all. Alright, so I added in, can you guess? I added in this flower right here. So the thing with the Excel file that I have in front of me is I have all of the ones for this week I have already in bold, and then next week, no, that's a lie. Next week I have in bold all ready to go. This week I just have the numbers written down of how many stitches I stitched. I think the last one for this week was now I have a sniffles. Oh, bananas. Okay. Hidden Disability Sunflower by a random stitcher. She is on FlossTube and she has a Facebook group. View mock-up. It's just it's not as big as a regular full coverage, but it's still 1,936 stitches, so still enough to say that there's lots. And it goes every time, people, every time. It goes this way. All right. Next week, is that it for this week? I think so. Yes. Okay. So next week, the only thing that else is coming out is White Mandala 3. I'm going to show you what it is on the PDF, because every time I show you a screenshot of it, it's too late. So we're gonna go like this. View PDF. That's what this is going to look like in the end. I'm on the third little. Oh, I can't do this. I can't. This row, these little baubles right around the third row. It is with a variegated. That's the word I was missing last time. Variegated DMC 4505, and here we go. That's this. This is where we're at. So I'm just working around, I guess I'm working this way, around the outside next layer. I guess that's the 1, 2, 4th or 5th ring now. So that's been pretty fun. Also a very long-term project. It's very long. It's been around a while. Alright, so we're moving on to another bag, because that's all for next week. There are 4 things that I will be working on, because one number was called twice again for out of the 5 days, as always. So yeah, okay. Back in the bag, go. Alright, so the next bag is my green bag. It's Ticket to Ride. That failed this week. I only had gotten 2.5 things done out of the 8 that are, you know, normally there. So alright, let's start with this. This is, actually, let's just go in the order of, so this is what gave me all of the problems this week. Not just some, all. Come on. This is Butterfly Fuchsia by Mill Hill. I told you it was a very complex Mill Hill week. Alright. Butterfly Fuchsia. I'm currently working on the bottom right space of the actual butterfly. Counting this week for this piece was not my forte. Last week I had a whole lot of spaces that were not filled in over here. I just decided to choose. I couldn't figure out where and what was happening with what symbols were in what space. I don't know what happened. Anyway, yes. It was only it was only 60. It was only 60, but it was still enough to drive me bananas. All right. Next up is Little Dove's Year is what I had gotten completed. Also 60 stitches in, let's never quit. Little Dove's Year, hold up. No, I don't want the mock-up. I want the PDF. Alright, Little Dove's Year looks like this. I know there's quite a few people doing it right now. I did restart it because it was all over the place last time. So it's on an ice blue 14 count Aida. And if I can find where it is, what just happened? Something just happened. Okay, there it is. I'm going to have to frog out everything else that's not on this piece of fabric, but for now, if I could actually get everything lined up. This is chaos. All right, here we are. This is the top left corner of January. So I finished all of the color that goes here, and then now I'm just filling in the rest of this border. Yep. And then the only thing else that I worked on this week, because so this weekend is the 24 hours of cross stitch weekend. I didn't really stitch, kind of, more to come. Didn't really stitch this week at all. I don't know why, just didn't do it. Anyway, so the next thing that I worked on yesterday, because most of all of this was done yesterday, I thought I was supposed to put in 60, so currently right now in Moon Witch there are 60 stitches added, but there should have been 100, so this is going to come out again this week. And here we are, easy peasy, because I'm still in that top left corner. So another 40 stitches will be added this week. What else did I not get to this week? I did not get to Praiseworthy Stitches, Simple Gifts Christmas. That'll be this week. I did not get to Ornament Dragon. That will be this week. Never Quit, also this week. And, whoops, who's talking? Skitters, was that you? I might be talking to a bird outside. And, coffee cups. I was not ready to work on coffee cups, that's why I gave up the whole situation. Oh, and Snail, if I can get to him. He's only got his beads left, so we'll see how that goes. Alrighty, I have added a new thing. I've added something different. In this bag, I've added what I call all in the cards. This was a spin-off, a variation of something that the absent-minded stitchers stitch every month, every week, every 2 weeks, every time they complete it. I'm not sure. Anyway, so it's essentially the whose card is higher. But I'm doing it for 6 whips because all of these whips are all gift stitches. So technically there should be a few more, but I don't have the few more in here. So Savannah's Curtsy. So these are all plans for this week. Because I haven't worked on any of these yet. Where's the... Alright, and Cozy Winter Mugs. I was watching the inspiration to be able to get out Savannah's curtsy again. I was watching Samantha the Hugo Stitcher because she is all about the mirabilias, but at the same point, the confidence in figuring out that I can still do it regardless of how far or not far I've gotten on the piece. So the next one is the North Wind. I'm doing it on a green piece of fabric though. Next up is Sing a Sampler Series by Silver Creek Samplers. And the thing that I started new this week, which inspired me to continue on this stitch for all of the gifts, still haven't taken a screenshot of it, still haven't figured out who designed it, but I'll put that all here. It's called See You Later. And I started in the middle. I started it this week. Goes this way. I already have to frog things out because it's not the right color, but c'est la vie. So, see you later. See you soon, raccoon. I have to frog out this because it's going to be a lighter gray, not that gray, but that's okay. And that is it for me. I think not it for me. So this game, I'm essentially drawing cards from a deck of cards. Whatever card comes up, that's the amount of stitches that I'm doing. So 2 is 20, 4 is 40, Jack, Queen, King are all 110, 120, no, 110, 120, and 130. And then the ace, no, does that make sense? Sure. The ace is going to be 140 instead of just 10. And then jokers are 150. Doesn't really make sense. Anyways, you'll figure it out next week, because I'm going to figure it out next week, because everything is new. So, I'm also going to be working on next week because it's treatment week. So I'm also going to be working on, what's already in the bag? Celestial. I call it Celestial Circle because it doesn't really have a name. And Celestial Circle will look like this. I have a picture of it, but and this is how far we're at. So I've just completed the full row across on like 2 rows, and then I'm slowly making my way, stitching up that arc of blue. And that, my friends, is it, I think. 28 minutes sounds about right. And I will see you next time. I hope you have a great stitching week. I will let you know how much stuff I get into next Sunday, because I think now my new day is Sunday. I think. Or it's whenever I complete all of the things. How about that? So that I have to reset everything? How about that? That's the deal. I come back when everything is stitched, or I come back next Sunday. Whatever comes first. Alright, I will see everybody later. Have a great day. Sparkle and shine. Bye, everybody.